I'm not gonna do it here anymore.
Oh, you changed it?
Mm-hmm.
You lied.
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
Everything I do is for you. I give you the praise and the glory. You came and you walk in the flesh, an example of love. It is a story. Your words look at me like a picture. So perfect you are in the scriptures. Your words they don't change and they don't go void. You are the truth you deliver. Most high, I honor you. You are my Elohim. You're the creator of everything. There are no others beside you, and they know that's a fact. You are the Redeemer, and they know you coming back. Hallelujah, hallelujah, you are my Elohim. You're the creator of everything. There are no others beside you, and they know that's a fact. You are the Redeemer, and they know you coming back. gotta thank Yahweh for being the chosen seed of Israel. Here's the patience of the saints. Here I lay the keys, the commandments of God, and the faith of Mashiach. Whoa, yeah. I gotta thank Yahweh for being the chosen seed of Israel. Here's the patience of the saints. Here I lay the keys, the commandments of God, and the faith of the Mashiach. Whoa, yeah. Whoa. I'm here to encourage you, brothers and sisters. Trying to paint you a better picture. Everything I say, I back it up with the scripture. To get you out the matrix. It's been over 400 years of life. You gotta open up your eyes. Cause there's so many reasons we in captivity. You gotta flee from the heathen. There is hope in our future, even though they try to deceive. But we live to fight another day. It's just easier. We pray for Yahweh. I gotta thank Yahweh for being the chosen seed of Israel. Israel. Here's the vision of the saint. Here I live to keep the commandments of God. Commandments of God. And the faith of Mashiach. Oh, 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 yeah, yeah. I gotta thank Yahweh for being the chosen seed of Israel. Here's the vision of the saint. Here I live to keep the commandments of God. And the faith of the Mashiach. Oh, oh, yeah, yeah, oh, oh. And I magnify your name. Humbly, God serve you. No matter what I do, I will worship you. Praise be to you. And I magnify your name. Humbly, God serve you. No matter what I do, I will praise be to only you, and I magnify your name. Only Yahweh, no matter what I do, I will worship. Praise be to you, and I magnify your name. And I humbly, Yahweh, no matter what I do, I will worship. I know sometimes life can be so cruel. Yeah. But I know someone that can make it right. What you gotta do is have a little faith. Open up your heart to little Him. Even in bondage, He can make you free. Yeah, you deserve all the praise. Be to you, and I magnify your name. I serve you. It don't matter what I do. I will worship you. Praise be to you, and I magnify your name. And my holy, I serve you. No matter what I do, I will worship you. Praise be to you, and I magnify your name. And my holy, I serve you. No matter what I do, I will worship you. Praise be to you, and I magnify your name. And my holy, I serve you. No matter what I do, I will worship you. Praise be to you, and I magnify your name. Humbly, yeah, I serve you. No matter what I do, I will praise be to only you, and I magnify your name. Humbly, yeah, I serve you. No matter what I do, I will worship you. Have mercy upon me, O Yah, for I am weak. O Yah, heal me. Psalm 6, verse 2. Oh yeah, I am weak. Oh yeah, oh yeah, I am weak. Oh yeah, I give thanks. I give thanks. All I can say is thank you. All I can say is thank you. Have mercy on me. Oh yeah, I am weak. Oh yeah, heal me. Have mercy on me. Oh yeah, I am weak. Oh yeah, heal me. Thank you. All I can say is thank you. All I can say is thank you.
It's too much. It's full. What kind of app? What app is this?
It's a Bible app on the phone. It's fine. It is fine. So, why'd you say?
If they come by hearing, then hearing your word, then that's what I'll do. Yes, that's what I'll do. If I gotta climb the highest mountain in the desert land, I know it'll be okay. You hold my hand.
Mr. Acting like, no, you've been working this phone.
Don't figure out how to mirror
Mirror what?
the screen to the live feed. Because it's just your face the whole time. More people get sick. I mean, excuse me. Where you are, brother?
Hold on. What's this thing doing?
So what happened to your water?
The machine was broken, so I was like, well, I'm not gonna waste more time. I'm just gonna be thirsty.
Yeah, but it's
It's the truth.
What's going on here?
So are you live on YouTube right now?
Yeah, but I don't know. This was working just fine, and then as soon as you came in, it stopped.
You know, could be one superstar in the building. You know,
What's
he
the
knows who the
recovery
alpha
song?
male is. That's what I just lost. Anybody else lost? That's my girl. That's okay. I don't wear no skin. I want to act like I want the attempt to put lotion on, but nobody had it.
Man.
And I had lotion on.
We've been through the fire, and now it's time to wake up. We're about to go higher. From heroes to heroes, from heroes to heroes, from heroes to heroes, from heroes to heroes. It's been a long time coming, but we here now. Scattered all around the world, hidden in the midst of the nation. We was taken from far away, across the Atlantic and slave trade. Yeah. They came in disguise with their Lord. Their intentions were evil but sure. What kind of people that would do such a thing like this? Yeah. Stacking humans on top of each other, ripping children from their mothers, and making a example of their fathers. Oh, how is it up? We've been through the fire, and now it's time to wake up. We're about to go higher. From heroes and heroes, from heroes to heroes, from heroes to heroes, from heroes to heroes. Sometimes it hurts so bad. The situation of my people is sad. They move around like a walking dead. No insurance of their life could they live within. Oh, I know those people. They always have to bother those people. Head shaking at those people. Every nation hates those people. We here now. Stand, my people. We coming into our heritage. Better wake up, this ain't no fairy tale. I ain't no here. If you start throwing out identities, and you know what this really, really means. We up there, oh, higher, it's up, it's up. We've been through the fire, the fire. Now it's time to wake up, wake up. We're about to go higher, go higher.
Wait, go ahead. The deceiver in all his ways. So
Why? Like how you go?
yeah, you have to do it. You have to crank it to raise it higher.
Okay, that's it, brother. There it is.
Okay. Well, I'm not gonna try to keep you out here long. We got a lot of reading though, but ooh, glad to be here. Tired. Everybody tired. Been a long week. Bam came in. Shalom family. Today it's called we've been going over pay action, faith in action. In case you don't know, in Hebrew, pay is your mouth. So using your mouth to confess things or to speak things into existence or whatever. Plus, faith without works is dead. So you always have to have something to go with your faith. You can't just say, "Oh, I believe," and things
It's
are going
also
to
the letter
happen.
P. Did you know it's the letter P also? That's the letter P. You remember telling Hebrew words have meanings?
Yeah.
I mean, each letter has a meaning.
It never fails. It never fails. But go ahead. No, what does it mean?
You just said it. Man, I didn't know what mean math. I just know pay was the alphabet.
Yeah, because it's not really. That's like the more modern Hebrew is really pa'ah. Yeah, it's like pa'ah. It goes back to pa'ah, but it's pay in the more modern version of it, I guess you could say. But this is called "A Body Has All Prepared Me," children's bread. So I don't know where y'all are at in certain things in knowledge. So me and Bam and June and Yitcha will try to help y'all out. So let's go to Numbers 15. So it's about, we go over the Torah or something in there of the quote unquote so-called Old Testament. And we're just going to read Numbers 15. Yeah, Bam, you got it?
Sure. Heavenly Father, we just come to say thank you for the many blessings that you stored upon us. Thank you for being Yah and Yah all by yourself. Thank you for what you've done, you're doing, and what you're going to do. Now, as we read your word, Heavenly Father, we ask that your truth come forward. Let us get the knowledge that we need, that you have for us, and let us hold on to it. Keep it in our heart, soul, and bodies. We ask and pray that we just live every day according to your will, your word, and your way, Heavenly Father. Keep us forever in your care. Watch over us, forgive us, lead us and guide us, strengthen us. Amen.
Come on. So everybody there? We good? Numbers 15. Yeah, about to say there's physical Bibles over there if y'all want that too. Okay, so I'll start it off. Y'all good? We good here? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And Yahuwah spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, When you become into the land of your habitations which I give unto you, and will make an offering by fire unto Yahuwah, a burnt offering, or a sacrifice in performing a vow, or in a free will offering, or in your solemn feasts, to make a sweet savor unto Yahuwah of the herd or of the flock. Then shall he that offereth his offering unto Yahuwah bring a meat offering of a tenth meal of flour mingled with the fourth part of an hin of oil. So basically, we're reading right now, the different offerings, where y'all are from. I'm pretty sure people still be doing that over there, right? They still be sacrificing animals, even though it's not prevalent here. But we're not supposed to be, well, I'm not going to say we're not supposed to, but we don't do it right now because, one, we don't have a temple. And then for two, the Messiah is who some call Jesus, we call Yahusha. He's the ultimate sacrifice. So in this, we're going over different things that the Messiah is showing them or telling them how to sacrifice things to him, because you can't just make a sacrifice. So if we're not sacrificing like meats and stuff or animals now, then what are we supposed to do? Are we really making sure that we're giving the sacrifices that we should be giving right now? I know it seems like it's a little off topic, but it'll come back around. I'm on 5.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the fourth part of an hin of wine for a drink offering, people like to say you can't drink, shalt thou prepare with the burnt offering or sacrifice for one lamb, or for a ram thou shalt prepare for a meat offering, 2/10 deals of flour mingled with the third part of an hin of oil. And for a drink offering thou shalt offer the third part of an hin of wine, for a sweet savor unto Yahuwah. And when thou preparest, so what?
No, I was breathing. I was just looking up here. I
Yeah,
figured what it was.
it's a measurement. Yeah. And when thou preparest a bullock for a burnt offering, or for a sacrifice in performing a vow, or peace offerings unto Yahuwah, then shall he bring with the bullock a meat offering of 3/10 deals of flour mingled with half an hin of oil. That sounds like the way we be doing chicken. A lot of that stuff, don't it?
Mm-hmm. They fried boom.
Boy. And thou shalt bring for a drink offering half an hin of wine again, for an offering made by fire, of a sweet savor unto Yahuwah. Thus shall it be done for one bullock, or for one ram, or for a lamb, or a kid, according to the number that you shall prepare, that you shall prepare, so shall you do to everyone according to their number. All that are born of the country shall do these things after this manner, in offering an offering made by fire, of a sweet savor unto Yahuwah. And if a stranger sojourn with you, or whosoever be among you in your generations, and will offer an offering made by fire of a sweet savor unto Yahuwah, as you do, so he shall do. One ordinance shall be both for you of the congregation, and also for the stranger that sojourneth with you. An ordinance forever in your generations. As you are, so shall the stranger be before Yahuwah. One law and one manner shall be for you, and for the stranger that sojourneth with you. So this is, a lot of people go back and forth on stranger, because if you go back to certain words that they use for stranger, it could mean foreigners of Israel, not necessarily people that aren't of the flock, but we know that all people can come uh, cleave to the covenant through the Messiah, through believing and having faith in it. But I don't know if y'all are aware of that, but we'll keep going. And Yahuwah spake unto Moshe, saying, Speaking to the children of Israel, and saying to them, When you come into the land whither I bring you, then it shall be that when you eat of the bread of the land, you shall offer up an heave offering unto Yahuwah. You shall offer up a cake of the first of your dough for an heave offering. As you do the heave offering of the threshing floor, so shall you heave it. Of the first of your dough you shall give unto Yahuwah an offering in your generations. So what are we seeing here? So no matter what the Most High is talking about, whether it's wine, whether it's um, bullocks, whether it's what was that? We were just reading about dough.
Mhm.
He wants you to give the first of it. And a lot of it's called tithe nowadays. And nowadays it's more. A lot of people always say it's money, but tithe can also be time. Are we setting aside time for the Most High? Even if you're just alone, praying internally, praying externally, singing praises to the Most High. Are we really doing that? Or are we just asking and then hoping, wishing, praying that He's going to do something? But are we spending time with Him? Are we actually trying to figure that out? Is that a priority to us?
Sure.
I'm just saying. It's just a question. Is it? Okay, just asking. And okay, so of the first of your dough you shall give unto Yahuwah a heave offering in your generations. And if you have erred and not observed all these commandments which Yahuwah have spoken unto Moshe, speaking to even all that Yahuwah have commanded you by the hand of Moshe from the day that Yahuwah commanded Moshe, and henceforth among your generations, then it shall be, if aught be committed by ignorance, without the knowledge of the congregation, that all the congregation shall offer one young bullock for a burnt offering, for a sweet savor unto Yahuwah, with his meat offering and his drink offering, according to the manner, and one kid of the goats for a sin offering. So even if you sin in ignorance, you're still supposed to give something to the Most High. You're still supposed to repent, because a lot of times we get so busy that we do something, we end up finding out we slip up. We just keep moving forward. But do we? That's what I'm saying. Are we prioritizing time with the Most High? Because we always find excuses to do the things that we want to do. But are we finding excuses to do the things that He wants to do? Are we checking? Are we looking at ourselves in the mirror? Is what I'm trying to ask. Because when it comes to what a lot of people go through, Easter, Resurrection Sunday, Passover, it's supposed to be a self check, a self inspection. And I know myself, I can see certain things that I didn't really give credence to. I kind of, certain things were just stuck in me that I didn't quite let go. You put it like in a box, and you kind of just dump it off somewhere, and you think you're okay because you just hold it in. And I can see that in a lot of people, and it's not healthy. It's just keeping you in the same spot. It's a rut. And that more than anything is the thing that I kept feeling like the most I was telling me is we got to start letting stuff go. We have to start letting stuff go because He's already prepared. He prepared a body for the Messiah, Jesus or Yahusha, whoever, well, whatever name you call him. Prepared him a body, but He also created bodies for us. Like we all do here, we do all believe in the Messiah, right? Correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We believe in what He did, His power. We believe that all power was given to Him in heaven and on earth from the Father.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just asking. Just asking. Okay. I'm on 25.
Mhm.
Okay. And the priest shall make an atonement for all the congregation of the children of Israel, and it shall be forgiven them, for it is ignorance, and they shall bring their offering, a sacrifice made by fire, unto Yahuwah, and their sin offering before Yahuwah for their ignorance. So we see that the priests, right? We know in this day and time, well, in that day and time, it was the Levites. They were the priests.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever there was a sin offering of ignorance, is what they're going over, you would bring the correct sacrifice to the priest. They would inspect it, make sure it's without spot or blemish, give it to the Most High, sacrifice it, and then whoever ignorantly sinned, their sins would be atoned for or omitted. But the thing about it is that was from one tribe, but us as men, we are supposed to be the priests of our household. When our families are sinning ignorantly, or whatever the case may be, you know, we got to do our part, especially like when you have children, because you're doing a really good job. But you know, it's not easy because they these traditions of men, they make it hard. They want to fight and war against something that they don't really understand. Like, look, I understand what the world is telling you, but if we actually go in the Bible, if we actually go in history and we show you things, and then you just willfully just like, well, everybody else is doing it. Like, as men, we have to take a stand because again, we are the priests of the household. So if we're not making sure that our families, our households, or whatever, are striving to walk circumspectly or straightforward on things, we're gonna get held accountable for it, especially from our wives to our children. And it's a lot of people just kind of shrug it off, but I'm like, man, you talking about eternity right there.
Man, the wife, I'm trying to tell somebody, listen, y'all gonna play with y'all soul. I ain't playing with my soul. I ain't gonna let nobody else play with my soul. I gotta get me right first.
Right.
Like, I'm not gonna allow you to mess me up. Like I said, I gotta do my own thing. But yeah.
And it shall be given all the congregation of the children of Israel and the stranger that sojourneth among them, seeing all the people were in ignorance. And if any soul sin through ignorance, then he shall bring a she-goat of the first year for a sin offering. And the priest shall make an atonement for the soul that sinneth ignorantly when he sinneth by ignorance before Yahuwah, to make an atonement for him, and it shall be forgiven him. But again, now we confess out through the Messiah, and everything is forgiven. You shall have one law for him that sinneth through ignorance, both for him that is born in among the children of Israel, and for the stranger that sojourneth among them. But the soul that doeth aught presumptuously or on purpose, whether he be born in the land or a stranger, the same reproacheth Yahuwah, and that soul shall be cut off from among his people. You were completely cut off from the covenant. You could be put to death. That's what Paul talks about in the New Testament. I mean, are we really trying to again like look at ourselves, because this world is just so many distractions and it's so easy to get busy. Busy, busy, busy. You there, Jen? Can you read from there? No, I got it. No, I got it. From among his people, because he hath despised the word of Yahuwah, and have broken his commandment, that soul shall utterly be cut off. His iniquity shall be upon him. So now you don't got nobody that can atone for you. And while the children of Israel were in the wilderness, they found a man that gathered sticks upon the Sabbath day. And they that found him gathering sticks brought him unto Moshe and Aharon, and unto all the congregation. And they put him inward or inside, because it was not declared what should be done to him, because we're not supposed to be doing work on the Shabbat, right? And Yahuwah said unto Moshe, the man shall be surely put to death. All the congregation shall stone him with stones without the camp. And all the congregation brought him without or outside the camp and stoned him with stones, and he died, as Yahuwah commanded Moshe. They ain't play about that.
Man, that was so loving,
though. I'm saying though.
It was crazy. Out of all the sins listed in here, and people have got forgiven for it. This is how important this is to the Most High.
Our people went into captivity for not keeping the Sabbath day.
And see, go ahead.
And Yahuwah spake unto Moshe, saying, speaking to the children of Israel, and bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments throughout their generations, and that they put upon the fringe of their borders a ribbon of blue. And it shall be unto you for a fringe, that you may look upon it and remember all the commandments of Yahuwah, and do them, and that you seek not after your own heart and your own eyes, after, which you use to go a whoring, that you may remember and do all my commandments, and be holy unto your Elohim. I am Yahuwah, your Elohim, which brought you out of the land of Mitzrayim, to be your Elohim. I am Yahuwah, your Elohim. But yeah, the Sabbath day is important. That's the day the Messiah was raised on, because they say the 8th day, but it was going into the 8th day, because that's a whole new generation, a whole new year. It's the Sabbath day. He's our ultimate rest. Sabbath day is the rest day, right? Pretty simple. It should be, at least. Okay. So, what is faith?
Shields.
Hmm.
Got it.
You got that one on your shield, your guard. Okay.
Believing in something you can't see.
Believing in the unseen.
Mm-hmm.
And what's the book of the evidence of faith, or the definition of faith?
You said the book?
Yeah. What was
Hebrews
that?
11?
Hebrews 11. All right. Making sure y'all paying attention. Okay.
Well, what you mean?
Okay, it says, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things, like June said, not seen. Verse 6, but without faith, it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to Elohim must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him.
So,
Go ahead.
faith is kind of like belief, right?
No, you gotta investigate it. You gotta scrutinize it.
Mm. You got to scrutinize faith. You got to investigate.
That's what diligence.
That was diligence.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, though, because, a lot of people believe that belief, like I said, John 3:16, those who believe should not perish but have everlasting life. But without faith, it's impossible to please him. Then what it said?
Diligently
seek him.
Uh-huh.
You can't seek nobody by just mind. You don't play hide and seek. I ain't never seen nobody stand on base and like, I got faith, I'm gonna see somebody.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get him. Oh yeah,
I got faith, I'm gonna get him. You gotta go see.
Mm-hmm.
Diligently seeking. I know last time y'all was talking about that,
Mm-hmm.
and I was on the truck listening,
Mm-hmm.
and you was talking about investigate. You gotta investigate. I'm like, you have to invest time into that. You just can't say, oh, go. You gotta look. You gotta search. You gotta spend time.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, dang. I never knew that root word for investigate. Like I said, because
because we don't think about it.
Yeah, it's so far off.
Yeah.
Like it's just a word, but you gotta invest that time. Like when y'all started going over the subject last week, I'm like, man, so that's crazy. But go ahead. I'm just
Okay.
want to share that I wasn't here last week,
So I don't know when it was the last time that you actually read about the death, burial, and resurrection of the Messiah, but we're going to do that today. Because I know we're supposed to be going over Moses and how the Messiah or the Most High brought them out of the land of Egypt. We'll do that next time, maybe, or maybe I'll just do one about that by itself. But let's go to Matthew 26, and we're gonna read Matthew's chapter 26 through 28. I hope y'all got your reading glasses on.
No.
And June, whenever you get there,
Where is
Matthew, it's in the New Testament. Yep.
Right.
26.
26. So, yep, start at verse 1. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're reading chapters 26, chapters 27, chapters 28. So.
And it came to pass, when YAHUSHA had finished all these sayings, he said unto his disciples, you know that after 2 days is the feast of the Passover, and the Son of Man is betrayed to be crucified. Then assembled together the chief priests and the scribes and the elders of the people unto the palace of the high priest, who was called
Caiaphas,
and consulted that they might take YAHUSHA by what is that?
Yeah, subtlety,
and kill him. But they said, not on the feast day, lest there be an uproar among the people. Now when YAHUSHA was in Bethany, in the house of Simon the leper, there came unto him a woman having an alabaster box of very precious ointment, and poured it on his head as he sat at meat. But when his disciples saw it, they had indignation, saying, to what purpose is this waste? For this ointment might have been sold for much and given to the poor.
So now I realize that whatever disciple this is saying it could have been given to the poor, but that wasn't the first thing that he said. He said it could have been done what? So his eyes was he was thinking about the Benjamins, all about the Benjamins. Money
It was
ain't
Caesar
everything.
back then.
Huh?
It was all
Yeah,
about Caesar.
Caesar. About that. True about the Caesars. You're right. You're right. All right, keep going.
When Yahusha understood it, he said unto them, Why trouble ye the woman? For she hath wrought a good work upon me. For ye have the poor always with you, but me you have not always. For in that she hath poured this ointment on my body, she did it for my burial. Verily I say unto you, whosoever this gospel shall be preached in the whole world, there shall also that this woman hath done, but told for a memorial of her. Then one of the 12, called Judas Iscariot, went unto the chief priests, and said unto them, What will ye give me? And I will deliver him unto you. And they covenanted with him for 30 pieces of silver. And from that time he sought opportunity to betray him.
So do y'all think it's a righteous thing to covenant with somebody to kill somebody?
No.
Nah.
Not even for 30 Bitcoin?
Bitcoin?
Nah.
Okay.
Especially if it was an unrighteous killing.
I was just going to say now, if it was unrighteous.
Well, and I'm talking about through the lens of Yehuda Iscariot, yeah.
No. He was downright wrong for that.
Now the first day of the feast of unleavened bread, the disciples came to Yahusha, saying unto him, Where wilt thou that we prepare for thee to eat the Passover? And he said, Go into the city to such a man, and say unto him, The master saith, My time is at hand, and I will keep the Passover at thy house with my disciples. And the disciples did as Yahusha had appointed them, and they made ready the Passover.
So the Passover was kept in the church, right? In assembly.
Yeah, with the steeple.
Was it? Is that what we just read?
Mm-mm.
So where was it kept?
Somebody's house, master's house.
Oh. So why does everybody, have to go before pastor, deacon, bishop, whatever, in a church to hold communion? Where's that coming from? They kept Passover at the house, at the crib. Which, I mean, I'm not saying don't go to an assembly. That's not what I'm saying, but we got to start reading stuff and looking at it like, wait a minute. Why do they have us doing this, and why do they have us doing that? Where did communion even come from?
If I'm not mistaken, the Messiah talks about somewhere in there about the tradition of man. I don't see how. So how the people in the street say they pushing faith, but they going about it the wrong way. Like, you got the same book. It's been the same for about a good 300 years. I'm gonna say 300. It's been the same book. Why not do what the book say instead of doing what you was taught?
Because they kept Passover at the crib. We're going to kind of get into that a little bit in the New Testament later. All right, keep going.
Now when the even was come, he sat down with the 12. And as they did eat, he said, Verily I say unto you, that one of you shall betray me. And they were exceeding sorrowful, and began every one of them to say unto him, Master, is it I? And he answered and said, He that, what is that?
Dippeth.
He that dippeth his hand with me in the dish, the same shall betray me. The Son of Man goeth as it is written of him. But woe unto that man by whom the Son of Man is betrayed. It had been good for that man if he had not been born.
So now, who is the Son of Man? The Son of Man is the Messiah. It's Yahusha, right? He said it's better that he was not born and betray me for 30 Bitcoin.
It's crazy. Like, it's crazy. Just the faithfulness he did for us. Just imagine you walking with somebody for years, knowing these folks finna do you in.
Pick one of the 12, knowing that he was gonna be the one to do it too. Like, yeah, I know what you're gonna do, but come on.
Come follow me. Godly. What is that's faithful.
That's love right there. Keep going.
Then Judas, which betrayed him, answered and said, Master, it is I. Master, is it I? He said unto him, Thou hast said. And as they were eating, Yahusha took bread and blessed it, and brake it, and gave it to the disciples, and said, Take, eat, this is my body. And he took the cup, and gave thanks, and gave it to them, saying, Drink ye all of it. For this is my blood of the New Testament, which is shed for many for the remission of sins. But I say unto you, I will not drink henceforth of this fruit of the vine, until that day when I drink it new with you in my Father's kingdom. And when they had sung a hymn, they went out into the Mount of Olives.
So not only did they keep the Passover at the crib, they was singing, they was chilling. You know what I'm saying?
Wine.
Right, wine. That's why we read earlier about how you're supposed to be having drink offerings of wine, Passover wine. Like people try to say, "Oh no, wine's this, and that." I'm like, Most High don't lie. If you don't understand the context, say you don't understand the context of what you're trying to say. But I'm just making sure that we're all looking at the same thing. Okay, keep going. Or do you want me to pick up?
Oh, I'm good.
Okay, go ahead.
Then saith Yahusha unto them, All ye shall be offered because of me.
Offended.
All ye shall be offended because of me this night. For it is written, I will smite the shepherd, and the sheep of the flock shall be scattered.
Who's the shepherd? Who's the shepherd?
Smite the shepherd. He will smite the shepherd.
Who is the shepherd?
The Messiah.
Yahusha is the shepherd. Who's the flock? It was his disciples. They will be scattered after what was about to happen to them. So if you hear Son of Man, if you hear Shepherd, that's talking about the Messiah. It's talking about Yahusha. Okay, keep going.
But after I am risen again, I will go before you into Galilee. Peter answered and said unto him, Though all men shall be offended because of thee, yet will I never be offended.
So he's saying, yeah, they might get offended, but I'm gonna be here. You know, I'm gonna rock with you no matter what. He's saying, I got you.
Yahushua said unto him, Verily I say unto thee, that this night before the cock crow, thou shalt deny me thrice.
So he just said he would never get offended, and then the master Yahushua looked at him and said, "Yeah, you gonna do 3 times minimum,
not twice."
Then they put a time there before the cock crows.
He said, "Minimum, man. You gonna deny everything. You gonna act like you wasn't even there, and you know they took me. You man,
Yahushua who?
who? Yeah. Keep going."
Peter said unto him, Though I should die with thee, yet will I not deny thee. Likewise also said all the disciples.
So then he said, they all said they would die with him. Okay, let's see what happens. Okay,
Ride or die.
We're gonna find out.
Then cometh Yahushua with them unto a place called
Gethsemane,
and saith unto the disciples, Sit ye here, while I go and pray yonder. And he took with him Peter and 2 sons of Zebedee, and began to be sorrowful and very heavy. And then saith he unto them, My soul is exceeding sorrowful, even unto death. Tarry ye here and watch with me.
See, but like that's one thing that people don't understand because they never really show that side. Like he was scared to death because he knew that he was about the way he was going to die. It was going to hurt. Like he said, he was scared to death. It's okay to be scared. Yeah, like that's perfectly fine, but you still got to keep moving forward and do what you got to do.
You still gotta have faith in what you're doing.
Faith in the Creator because He can bring you in through anything.
He brought you this word to take you out.
Yeah, he definitely did. He definitely did.
Quick.
Mm-hmm.
I'm at 39.
Mm-hmm.
And he went a little further and fell on his face and prayed, saying, O my Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless, not as I will, but as thou wilt.
I mean, like think about it, because he's still a man. Like even though he had the Holy Spirit, the Ruach in him, he was still like, man, look. I mean, if you can find a way to do a workaround, but then he was like, not by my will, but by thy will, to death. He knew he was going to die. He could have got out of there if he wanted to. He could have got away. But it wasn't about his life. It wasn't about what was important to him. It was all about the Father. That's why I'm going back to what I was saying earlier. Are we making sure that we're spending time with the Father? Are we making sure we're actually getting down in our secret parts and realizing the hurt that we still have down there to let the stuff go? Like, are we doing that?
I think I lost my key.
I'm trying.
No.
Because it's heavy. Like even at this table right now, it's heavy on some of y'all. Like but you put the smile on your face. You think people don't see, but sometimes you got to realize that people can see you with their real eyes, not their spiritual ones. Man, I'm telling you, it is heavy. Okay, keep going.
And he cometh unto the disciples and findeth them asleep, and saith unto Peter, What could ye not watch with me 1 hour? What could ye not watch with me 1 hour? Watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. And he went away again the second time, prayed, saying, O my Father, if this cup may not pass away from me, except I drink it, thy will be done. And he came and found them asleep again, for their eyes were heavy. And he left them and went away again and prayed the third time, saying the same words. Then cometh he to his disciples and saith unto them, Sleep on now, and take your rest. Behold, the hour is at hand, and the Son of Man is betrayed unto the hands of sinners. Rise, let us be going. Behold, he is at hand that do betray me.
Mm-hmm.
And while he yet spake, lo, Judas, one of the 12, came, and with him a great multitude with swords and staves, from the chief priests and elders of the people. Now he that betrayed him, gave them a sign, saying, Whomsoever I shall kiss, that same is he. Hold him fast. And forthwith he came to YAHUSHA and said, Hail, Master, and kissed him.
So, I mean, how wicked is that, though? Yeah, I'm just going to, the one I gave because, like, back in those days, you would kiss somebody on the cheek, like, as a peace sign or whatever, you know what I mean? That was a greeting to people. It's like, yeah, man. Hey, Master, how you doing, man? How you doing, Ak? You good? You straight? And then he's stabbing him, literally trying to stab him in the back, ripping his heart out. For what? Like, what was he jealous of? Why would you want to kill somebody that's healing people, bringing people back to life? What was rooted in him?
Money. Greed. envy, jealousy.
Something. I keep going with that.
And Yahusha said unto him, Friend, wherefore art thou come? Then came they and laid hands on Yahusha and took him. And behold, one of them which were with Yahusha stretched out his hand and drew his sword and struck a servant of the high priest and smote off his ear. Then said Yahusha unto him, Put up again thy sword into this place, or into his place. For all they that take the sword shall perish with the sword. Thinkest thou that I cannot now pray to my Father, and he shall presently give me more than 12 legions of angels? But how then shall the scriptures be fulfilled, that thus it must be?
And just so y'all know, the one that actually did that, pulled out the sword and cut the dude's ear off, was Peter. Same person. All right, keep going.
In that same hour, said Yahusha to the multitudes, Are ye come out as against a thief with swords and staffs for to take me? I sat daily with you teaching in the temple, and ye laid no hold on me. But all this was done, that the scriptures of the prophets might be fulfilled. Then all the disciples forsook him and fled.
Wait, wasn't there one that said, "No, if you die, like you die and I die, and we die together"? That's what he said. They all did, because talk is cheap, right? Keep going.
And they that had laid hold on Yahusha led him away to Caiaphas, the high priest, where the scribes and the elders were assembled. But Peter followed him afar off unto the high priest's palace, and went in and sat with the servants to see the end. Now the chief priests and elders and all the council sought false witness against Yahusha to put him to death, but found none. Ye though many false witnesses came, yet found they none. At the last came 2 false witnesses,
Enough to put him to death by the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses.
and said, This fellow said, I am able to destroy the temple of Elohim and build it in 3 days. And the high priest arose and said unto him, Answerest thou nothing? What is it which these witness against thee? But Yahusha held his peace. And the high priest answered and said unto him, I adjure thee by the living Elohim, that thou tell us whether thou be the Christ, the Son of Elohim. Yahusha saith unto him, Thou hast said, nevertheless I say unto you, hereafter shall ye see the Son of Man sitting on the right hand of power, and coming in the clouds of Mitzrayim.
Of heaven.
Heaven.
That's the Shamayim.
Yeah, Shamayim. Then the high priest rent his clothes, saying, He hath spoken blasphemy. What further need have we of witnesses? Behold, now ye have heard his blasphemy. What think ye? They answered and said, He is guilty of death. Then did they spit in his face and buffeted him, and others smote him with the palms of their hands, saying, Prophesy unto us, thou Christ, who is he that smote thee? Now Peter sat without in the palace, and a damsel came unto him, saying, Thou also wast with Yahusha of Galilee. But he denied before them all, saying, I know not what thou sayest.
That's once.
And when he was gone out into the porch, another maid saw him and said unto them, that were there, this fellow was also with Yahusha of Nazareth. And again, he denied with an oath, I did not know the man. And after a while came unto him that they stood by and said to Peter, surely thou also art one of them, for thy speech be wary thee.
Mm-hmm.
Then began he to curse and to swear, saying, I know not the man. And immediately the cock crew. And Peter remembered the word of Yahusha, which said unto him, before the cock crow, thou shalt deny me thrice. And he went out and wept bitterly.
So not only did he deny him 3 times, and he started cussing at people to make sure, like, hey, I ain't with them. I'm not one of them. That ain't me.
I'll phone him.
I'll phone him. You read 27?
For me,
Yeah.
I was going through it. Yeah, I will.
You said you was going through it?
Yeah, I was just, I was looking up like certain words in the concordance just to...
Right. Because I don't know when the last time it was, again, that y'all have actually read what happened to the Messiah. But do y'all actually believe these accounts? That's the point. And is there going to be a change in you behind it? So that's why we're taking the time to read it all. But go ahead.
All right. When the morning was come, all the chief priests and elders of the people took counsel against Yeshua to put him to death. And when they had bound him, they led him away and delivered him unto Pontius Pilate, right?
Mm-hmm.
The governor. Then Judas, which had betrayed him, when he saw that he had repented himself. Repented himself,
Mm-hmm.
and brought again the 30 pieces of silver to the chief priests and the elders, saying, I have sinned, and that I have betrayed the innocent blood.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, what is that to us? See thou to that. What? See that? Yeah, that's right. And he cast down the pieces of silver in the temple and departed and went and hanged himself.
He took himself out, committed suicide.
And the chief priest took the silver piece and said, it was not lawful for to put them into the what's that?
The treasury. Mm-hmm.
Treasury, because it has the price of blood. Mm. So the money wasn't even good to them.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. And they took counsel and brought with them the potter's field to bury strangers in. Yeah, that's right. Mm-hmm. Wherefore the field was called the field of blood until this day. Then was filled that which was spoken by Jeremy the prophet, saying, and they took the 30 pieces of silver, the price of him that was valued, whom they of the children of Israel did value. That's crazy. Mm-hmm. They put a price on their side. Mm-hmm. And gave them for the potter's field, and the Lord appointed me. Command, okay, yeah. And Yeshua stood before the governor, and the governor asked him, saying, art thou the king of the Jews? And Yeshua said unto him, thou sayest. And when he was accused of the chief priests and elders, he answered nothing. Then said Pilate unto him, hearest thou now how many things they witness against thee? And he answered him to never a word. And so much that the governor marveled greatly. Now at the feast of the governor was wont to release. Okay, no, slow down.
Mm-hmm. That's what it says.
But it don't be making no sense to me. Now at the feast of the governor was wont.
So he was wanting to release a prisoner, because they have to, like, every one of those feasts, I guess, whatever. Gotcha. Once a year they will release somebody. So
gotcha. King James messed up on this. Mm-hmm. That's the wrong one. Mm-hmm. To release unto the people a prisoner whom they would. And they had then a notable prisoner called
Barabbas.
Therefore, when they were gathered together, Pilate said unto them, whom will ye that I release unto you? Barabbas or Yeshua, which is called Messiah. For he knew that for envy they had delivered him. When he was set down on the judgment seat, his wife sent unto him, saying, Have thou nothing to do with that just man? For I have suffered many things this day in a dream because of him. But the chief priests and elders persuaded the multitude that they should ask Barabbas and destroy Yeshua. The governor answered and said unto them, Whether of the twain.
So you're which one of the 2?
Oh, yeah, which of the 2? Gotcha. Will ye that I release unto you? They said, Barabbas. Pilate said unto them, What shall I do with this Yeshua, which is called Messiah? They all said unto him, Let him be crucified. And the governor said, Why? What evil hath he done? But they cried out the more, saying, Let him be crucified. When Pilate saw that he could prevail nothing, but they rather tumult was made, he took water and washed his hands before the multitude, saying, I am innocent of this blood of this just person. See ye to it. Next question. When we reading somewhere, when they tried to kill, I think it was Abraham. But they had these false witnesses come against him also, right? We was reading this not too long ago. It was another part of the Bible.
Well, there was some false witnesses were trying to kill him.
Yeah, it was trying to kill somebody. I don't know if they was. I don't know what how they were going to kill him, but came before the judge, and these people was basically lying, saying, "Yeah, he did this, he did this."
Well, was reading about that in the Book of Joshua and Abraham.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
That was his father, though.
I thought it was other people witnesses.
That was his father.
His father
Haran
ended up falsely witnessing about his brother, his older brother. And
he got his older brother killed.
Yeah. With him.
It was somewhere else. I'm thinking about anyway. I'm gonna have to read it again.
Yeah, but the father lied on his son.
Almost got both of them killed.
He tried it. The devil thought he had me, but excuse me. Then answered all the people and said, His blood be on us. Good God, what's wrong with them folk? And on our children, like so, they cursing them and their children.
An innocent man, and you reap what you sow. That's an eternal law.
Like that. Then released he Barabbas unto them, and when he had scorned Yeshua, he delivered him to be crucified. Then the soldiers of the governor took Yeshua into the common hall and gathered unto him the whole brain of a soldier.
So they brought the whole unit over there, like, hey, let's get this whole battalion out here real quick for YAHUSHA.
It is soldiers. Why they got separated like that? And they stripped him and put him in a scarlet robe. And when they had plaited a crown of thorns, they put it up on his head and reed in his right hand. And a reed in his right. Okay, gotcha. What was a reed? A staff.
It's like a mini. I'd say back then it'd probably be like a mini scepter because he was a king, right? So they make this crown and they're giving him a reed like it's like a little plant or whatever to act like it's his scepter, like he's ruling or whatever. But they're mocking him right now.
Gotcha. And they bowed the knee before him and mocked him, saying, Hail, King of the Jews. And they spit up on him and took the reed and smote him on the head. And after they had mocked him, they took the robe off from him, and put his own raiment on him, and led him away to crucify him. And as they came out, they found a man of Cyrene. Simon is right. By name, him they had compelled to bear his cross. That was Peter's name too, right? That was the last name and first name. Simon. His name was
Simon
Peter.
called Peter. His name was really Keith Kepha.
Yeah, but the way they did it was like his surname.
Mhm.
Simon was his surname, right? And so this probably Peter's cousin, right?
Well, they were cousins because that guy from Cyrene came up there to keep the feast. So Cyrene, if I'm not mistaken, is in Africa. Yeah, Cyrene. Yeah, because it was in Libya back in the day. Yeah, it was over in Africa.
Okay, well, we go back. Look, so I'm at the bookmark that one.
Mm-hmm.
And when they were coming to a place called Golgotha, right?
Mhm.
That is to say a place of a skull. They gave him vinegar to drink, mingled with gall. And when he had tasted thereof, he would not drink. But they crucified him and parted his garments, casting lots, that it might be fulfilled which was spoken by the prophet. They parted my garments among them, and upon my vesture did they cast lots. And sitting down, they watched him thereof. They watched him there, and set up over his head his accusation written, "This is Yeshua, the King of the Jews." Then were there two thieves crucified with him, one on the right and the other on the left. And they that passed by reviled him. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Wagging their heads.
You know how people do.
Shaking my head.
Mm-hmm.
And saying, "Thou that destroyest the temple, thou buildest it in 3 days, save thyself, if thou be the Son of God. And come down from this cross." Likewise also the chief priests mocking him with the scribes and elders said, "He saved others himself, he cannot save. If he be the King of Israel, let him come down from the cross, and we will believe him."
Because they have to see it. They're at that base level, right? Mm-hmm.
He trusted in God, let him deliver him now, if he will have him, for he said, "I am the Son of God." The thieves also, which were crucified with him, cast the same in his teeth. Okay, yeah. Now from the sixth hour, there was darkness all over the land until the ninth hour. And about the ninth hour, Yeshua cried with a loud voice, saying, "El, El, lama shep," what the word is.
Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani.
Mm-hmm.
Sabachthani, yeah.
Lama sabachthani. That is to say, my God, why hast thou forsaken me?" Some of them that stood there, when they heard that, said, "The man calleth for Elias." And straightway one of them ran and took a sponge and filled it with vinegar and put it on a reed and gave it to him to drink. The rest said, let us see whether Elias will come to save him." So Elias, that's another name for God or something.
Well, Elijah means Yahuwah is my Elohim, or they say Jehovah is my Elohim.
Oh, it is Elijah. I'm looking at a Hebrew term. It is Elijah. And you said that what? That's
It means like Yahuwah is my Elohim, or Yah is my Elohim. Yeah, when I start having more sons, Eliyahu is definitely gonna be the name. Keep going.
Okay. Yeshua, when he had cried again with a loud voice, yielded up a ghost.
Yielded up the ghost, yeah.
Oh, yielded up the ghost. Yeah, you're right. And behold, the veil of the temple was rent in two from the top to the bottom, and the earth did quake, and the rocks rent, and the graves were open, and many bodies of the saints which slept arose. So he arose people right then, huh?
Mm-hmm.
People came back from the dead. Mm-hmm. That much power.
On many levels, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Thought it was just Lazarus. Mm-hmm. They came out of the graves after his resurrection and went into the holy city and appeared unto many.
So not only did they come back to life, they went and appeared in the city, right? Okay, keep going.
Now when the tell me that word
Centurion.
centurion and they that were with him watching Yeshua saw the earthquake and those things that were done, they feared greatly, saying, truly, this was the Son of God. And many women were there, behold, afar off, which followed Yeshua from Galilee, ministering.
Interesting.
I can't listen. Ministering. That's
There
what
you
it
go.
is. Don't do me. Ministering among him. Among which was Mary Magdalene and Mary, the mother of James and Jose. Is that right?
Moses, yeah, Jose, exalted, yeah.
I don't know. And the mother of Zebedee's children. That's Jesus' mama? That's not.
Sons of Zebedee.
I thought James was his brother, though. He got a brother named James.
He did have a brother named James.
Hmm.
But are you talking about the one, the
It
mother
said
of
Mary.
James and Joseph, or are you talking about the
Yeah.
mother of the children of Zebedee?
It said the Mary, the mother of James and Joseph, and the mother of Zebedee's children. So I thought Mary was the mother of all of them.
No, they put a comma right there.
Okay. But so that the first Mary, I mean,
Yeah, they don't give like the in this account, they're not giving the name of the mother of the sons of Zebedee.
Gotcha. But that was Mary, Jesus' mom, and
Mhm.
James and Jose. We had a brother named Jose too.
Mhm.
I didn't know that. Okay. This evening.
Mhm.
But mine just said even. Okay.
Mhm. Yep.
So when the evening was come, there came a rich man of Arimathea,
Yep,
named Joseph, who also called himself Yeshua's disciple. Well, he went to Pilate and begged the body of Yeshua. Then Pilate commanded the body be delivered. And when Joseph had taken the body, he wrapped it in a clean linen cloth and laid it in his own new tomb, which he had
hewn out or cut out of the rock.
Which he had hewn out of the rock, and rolled a great stone to the door of the
sepulcher.
What is that?
Sepulcher.
Sepulcher, and departed. And there was Mary Magdalene and the other Mary sitting over against the tomb. The tomb, man. I just read it. Now the next day that followed the day of the preparation of the chief priest, the chief priest and Pharisees came together unto Pilate, saying, "Sir, we remember that the deceiver said, that must be when, while he was yet alive, after 3 days I will rise again. With the command, therefore, that the tomb be made sure until the 3rd day, lest his disciples come by night and steal him away, and say unto the people, he is risen from the dead, so the last error shall be worse than the first." Pilate said unto them, "Ye have a watch. Go your way, make it as sure as ye can." So they went and made the tomb sure, sealing the stone and setting a watch. So you mean tell me, these folks was scared. Still.
Scared of a dead man.
They were scared until his death. That's crazy.
Scared into his death.
Man, King James made a lot of errors in this Bible, bro. Like, that's crazy. Like, I'm actually getting up into the thing reading. I thought I was slow a little bit.
So when those bodies that was resurrected, they was resurrected while he was still on the cross, crucified, right?
Yeah, while he was being crucified. Yeah, while he was dying.
That explains why they were so scared when they put him in that tomb.
And this was crazy.
Of him coming back.
There's more than one type of resurrection, too, though.
There's more than one type of resurrection. You tell me reincarnation.
What?
Uh,
I'm not about to be reincarnated into no animal. What is he talking about?
Regeneration, but not
Yeah.
You said regeneration?
regeneration, but not necessarily reincarnation.
I don't know regeneration.
Why do you think we're supposed to have generations to generation to generation?
Mm.
Why do you think Most High visits the iniquity of the fathers to the third and fourth generation? Why doesn't he just keep it going? Why don't he just visit that sin in that generation? Why does he wait to the third and fourth generation?
By then, people done died.
Hmm?
Some people done died off by then. I don't know.
No, you don't get what I'm saying.
So,
Yeah, we're getting off subject, but no, that's not
Nah,
what I'm saying.
we gotta go. We gotta visit after the lesson. We gotta revisit this.
Okay.
But I was gonna say something. So you mean tell me these folk knew once them folks started being resurrected, they were like, oh, so he was like as he was dying, he was the son of God. Like they made a mistake, and they still trying to cap what he can do after his death.
Yeah, that was capping. Yeah.
Like what's wrong with them folk? Then when the devil got his hooks in you, he got his hooks in you. You hear
Bro,
me?
you already know how people is, man. What you mean?
Simply.
Chapter 28. In the end of the Sabbath day, excuse me, in the end of the Sabbath, as it began to dawn towards the first day of the week, excuse me, came Mary Magdalene and the other Mary to see the sepulchre. And behold, there was a great earthquake, for the Malachim of the Master descended, excuse me, from heaven and came and rolled back the stone from the door and sat upon it. His countenance was like lightning, and his raiment was white as snow. And for fear of him, the keepers did shake. So when them guards saw it, they were scared and became as dead men. And the Malachim answered and said unto the women, fear not you, for I know that you seek Yahusha, which was crucified, and which was hung. He is not here, for he is risen. As he said, come, see the place where the master lay, and go quickly and tell his disciples that he is risen from the dead. And behold, he goeth before you into Galilee. There shall you see him. Lo, I have told you. And they departed quickly from the sepulchre with fear and great joy. So they didn't know whether to be happy or to be scared. And did run to bring his disciples word. And as they went to tell his disciples, behold, Yahusha met them, saying, all hail, or be joyous and be glad. And they came and beheld him by the feet and worshipped him. Then said Yahusha unto them, be not afraid. Go, tell my brethren that they go into Galilee, and there shall they see me. Now when they were going, behold, some of the watch came into the city and showed unto the chief priests all the things that were done. And then when they were assembled with the elders, and had taken counsel and gave large money unto the soldiers, so they bribing again, saying, say you, his disciples, came by night and stole him away while we slept. So they paid him off, right? And if this come to the governor's ears, we will persuade him and secure you. So they took the money and did as they were taught. And this saying is commonly reported among the Yahudim until this day. Then the 11 disciples went away into Galilee, into a mountain where Yahusha had appointed them. And when they saw him, they worshipped him, but some doubted. No faith. And Yahusha came and spake unto them, saying, all power is given unto me in the Shamaim and in the Arets. Go you therefore and teach all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Ruach, or the Ruach HaKodesh, teaching them to observe all things whatsoever I have commanded you. And lo, I am with you always, even unto the end of the world or age. Amen. So we read about Pontius Pilate, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go back up to what was this? Oh, am I on the wrong one? Where is that? Was it 26?
Luke 27.
26. I think it was something in 24, 25. So, Pontius Pilate, because we kind of jumped in, was talking about it. Why, even though his wife came to him and she told him about the dreams that she was having, the nightmares, like don't have anything to do with it. Why was it so important that he washed his hands?
Because he was so-called cleaning himself of the blood. I'm like, the blood's not going to be on my hand.
But I thought we're supposed to be covered in the blood.
Hmm.
Who you
Well-
talking about?
Pontius Pilate.
Oh,
Well, probably because he was going to shed the blood and he wasn't going to be covered in the blood.
So what?
He probably like, hey, this blood ain't on my hands. But yeah, because actually he was the one who gave the order to have him killed.
Right, he was. But he also gave them an option to let him live.
Yeah. So I guess he was like, wash my hands, because like even though it was law for him to give the order because that's what the people wanted. He was a judge basically, right? He was a judge at the time, well, a judge in that area. So he was just letting it be known, hey, it's not my doing, it's y'all doing. Why the fuck put that curse up on us like that, though?
Bro, on them and on their children. Like, if you want to say just let that curse be upon us, like, why you got to throw your children in there?
Right.
Y'all don't love nobody.
They meant it. They meant it.
So real quickly, I'm going to go to Deuteronomy 21 and read verses 1 through 9. Because now Pilate, he wasn't a Jew. But even he didn't want nobody's innocent blood on you because stuff could potentially happen. So the Most High even has laws that, or orders that are set up to make sure that the innocent blood doesn't fall on somebody that's not supposed to, right? So if one be found slain in the land which Yahuwah thy Elohim giveth thee to possess it, lying in the field, and it be known unto it be not known who have slain him, right? Then thy elders and thy judges shall come forth, and they shall measure unto the cities which are round about him that is slain. And it shall be that the city which is next unto the slain man, even the elders of that city shall take an heifer, which have not been wrought with, and which have not drawn in the yoke. And the elders of that city shall bring down the heifer unto a rough valley, which is neither eared nor sown, and shall strike off the heifer's neck there in the valley. So cut the heifer's neck off or snap it. And the priests, the sons of Levi, shall come near for them. Yahuwah, thy Elohim, have chosen to minister unto him, and to bless in the name of Yahuwah, and by their word shall every controversy and every stroke be tried. So we know that the chief priests and Pharisees, the ones that were given this authority, were trying to kill Yahushua for no reason. And all the elders of that city that are next unto the slain man shall wash their hands over the heifer that is beheaded in the valley. Again, Pontius Pilate, he was not a Jew though, but even he know, like, yeah, I'm God.
So I don't need no parts of this.
No. They want that blood to be on them and their children, not me. And they shall answer and say, our hands have not shed this blood, neither have our eyes seen it. Be merciful, O Yahuwah, unto thy people, Israel, whom thou hast redeemed, and lay not innocent blood unto thy people of Israel's charge, and the blood shall be forgiven. So shalt thou put away the guilt of innocent blood from among you, when thou shalt do that which is right in the sight of Yahuwah. So he, even though he didn't necessarily believe in everything we believe, he know I can't have this holy man's blood on my hands. Oh no.
But you know what? I was just thought about it. Because they come on, so put the blood on there. We supposed to be covered in the blood. So hey, devil meant it for my bad, but y'all meant it for my good. But still, no for ignorant.
They definitely didn't love us. They didn't love us.
They didn't know.
They definitely couldn't have loved us, man. So real quickly, I'm gonna go to Mark real quick and just read these 5 verses. Mark 16, verses 9 through 14, because faith is something that you have to exercise, right? Now, when Yahusha was risen early the first day of the week, he appeared first to Mary Magdalene, out of whom he had cast 7 devils. And she went and told them that had been with him as they mourned and wept. And they, when they had heard that he was alive and had been seen of her, believed not. After that, he appeared in another form unto them as they walked and went into the country. And they went and told it unto the residue, neither but believed they them. And afterward he appeared unto the 11 as they sat at meat, and upbraided them with their unbelief and hardness of heart, because they believed not them which had seen him after he was risen. Man, what does it mean to upbraid somebody?
To rebuke them.
To what?
Rebuke them.
To rebuke them?
Mm-hmm.
What is that? What does it mean to rebuke somebody?
Charge. It's like to basically let them know what they've done.
To let them know their error, they fault, right?
Yeah.
Because he told us how to properly deal with people. Because if someone sins against you or wrongs you, you let them know. You got to tell them.
With love.
Respectfully. But yeah.
You notice a new term that respectfully. Like they do something. Like they might slap you or just say something like, respectfully. I'm humble. I'm humble about it. Yeah. I did not. That's crazy you said. I thought you knew. That's why you said it.
No, I've been saying that for years, so that's weird.
Yeah, that's a new saying right now. Like they'll do something crazy, like respectfully.
Yeah, that's old to me. But because after you do that, then if they don't repent and they keep doing you the same way, you do what? You bring a witness. You don't just jump on social media and just start telling everybody else about it one way period. And if that don't work, then you bring them before the assembly. And then if that don't work, then you have no dealings with them and there's nothing wrong. But you would think that these men that actually saw the Messiah heal people, raise the dead, walk on water, turn water into wine, you would think that they would be better. But even they didn't have no belief. Nah, man, I saw him on that cross, bro. Ain't no coming back from that. I saw him on that tree, bro. Look, man, he ain't coming back from that.
He came back and they was praying with him. They still doubted.
They couldn't even recognize him. Like, there was
They took another form. So he took another form after they didn't recognize him, or after they didn't believe, or something like that.
I'm gonna go to Luke 24. No, he just took another. So the title of this is "A Body Has Thou Prepared Me," right? Once he was resurrected, they couldn't recognize him because he was different. Because he took another form. Man, I really wanted to start. June, can you start at verse 1? We'll just do it.
Luke 24.
I'll start it, but somebody pick up at like verse 20.
Verse what?
I'll start at verse 1. Now upon the first day of the week, very early in the morning, they came unto the sepulchre, bringing the spices which they had prepared, and certain others with them. And they found the stone rolled away from the sepulchre. And they entered in and found not the body of the master Yahusha. And it came to pass, as they were much perplexed thereabout, behold, 2 men stood by them in shining garments. And as they were afraid and bowed down their faces to the earth, they said unto them, Why seek you the living among the dead? He is not here, but is risen. Remember how he spake unto you when he was yet in Galilee, saying, The Son of Man must be delivered into the hands of sinful men and be crucified, and the third day rise again. And they remembered his words and returned from the sepulchre and told all these things unto the 11 and to all the rest. It was Mary Magdalene and Joanna and Mary, the mother of James, or Jacob, and the other women that were with them, which told these things unto the apostles.
Hold on a second.
What's up?
So Jacob and James, like this Jacob, right? Jacob was Jacob.
James' name, it's not James, it's Jacob. That's his name.
Well, so, but that's
Jacob.
translated to Jacob.
Yeah.
Hebrew. Okay, make sure.
Mhm.
Make sure it's right.
And their words seemed to them as idle tales, and they believed them not. Then arose Peter and ran unto the sepulchre, and stooping down, he beheld the linen clothes laid by themselves. Oh, here go Peter again. And departed wondering in himself at that which was come to pass. And behold, two of them went that same day to a village called Emmaus, which was from Jerusalem about 3 score furlongs. And they talked together of all these things which had happened. And it came to pass that while they communed together and reasoned, Yahusha himself drew near and went with them. But their eyes were holden that they should not know him. So what just happened?
They couldn't recognize.
Yeah. So they seen him, but didn't know him.
I don't know why people are calling me that. Okay. But so Yahusha himself drew near and went with them, but their eyes were holden that they should not know him. And he said unto them, what manner of communications are these that you have one to another as you walk and are sad? And the one of them, whose name was Cleophas, answering said unto him, art thou only a stranger in Jerusalem, and hast not known the things which are come to pass there in these days? And he said unto them, what things? And they said unto him, concerning Yahusha of Nazareth, which was a prophet, mighty in deed and word before Elohim and all the people, and how the chief priests and our rulers delivered him to be condemned to death and have crucified him. But we trusted that it had been he which should have redeemed Israel. And beside all this, today is the third day since these things were done. Yea, and certain women also of our company made us astonished, which were early at the sepulchre. And when they had not found, when they found not his body, they came saying that they had also seen a vision of angels, which said that he was alive. And certain of them which were with us went to the sepulchre and found it, even so as the women had said, but him they saw not. Then said he unto them, O fools, and slow of heart to believe all that the prophets have spoken. Ought not Hamashiach to have suffered these things and to enter into his glory? And beginning at Moshe and all the prophets, he expounded unto them in all the scriptures the things concerning himself. And they drew nigh unto the village whither they went, and he was made as though he would have gone further. But they constrained him, saying, abide with us, for it is toward evening, and the day is far spent. And he went in to tarry with them. And it came to pass, as he sat at meat with them, he took bread and blessed it and brake and gave to them. And their eyes were open, and they knew him, and he vanished out of their sight. So he just walked all the way around here with them, talking to them, explaining the scriptures to them. They still couldn't see it because they weren't looking at him with their real eyes. They weren't. They were looking at everything that they could see because they didn't have the faith to be able to perceive that he could actually come back to life.
It's crazy.
And their eyes were open, and they knew him, and he vanished out of their sight. Man, I was gonna keep it going. Yeah, I'll just try to skip that one. But the children's bread and the body that was prepared for him. So we know that in this body, especially if you read John 20, which is what we were going to go to, that with this body, he can just pop up out of nowhere. He can do anything. He can go up. You know, if you can see him being received from heaven, coming from, and going to it. And when you read that, you think that that's the body that the scriptures is talking about. But what are we? because I'm trying to summarize some of this instead of going through other scriptures. We got more, but what are we?
We're supposed to be the body of Christ.
The body, and the body has what? Many
Members,
right? Okay. So I'm just going to go to Hebrews 10 and read verses 5 through 7. Wherefore, when he cometh into the world, he saith, sacrifice and offering thou wouldest not, but a body hast thou prepared me, a body. And burnt offerings and sacrifice for sin thou hast had no pleasure. Then said I, lo, I come in the volume of the book. It is written of me to do thy will, O Elohim, because we're going to read more than that in there. But if we're the body of the Messiah and he came back from death, we're supposed to do greater works.
Mm-hmm.
He even said we're supposed to do greater works. Like we said, we're the body, but do we actually believe the report? Do we actually believe the word? Like, what is the children's bread? If I ask you a question, what is it?
The portion, I don't know. God portion.
I don't know. You said the children's bread.
Right. So I'm not. How do I say what I'm trying to say? Okay, so I'm almost saying it without having to go to necessarily going to scripture for it, because I know we're all tired with this weather. But we all have family members. We all are dealing with stuff in our bodies. We all are dealing with stuff in our families, emotions, generational curses, and things. And then we all claim to love, whether it's Jesus or Yahusha, the Messiah or Christ. But he said that all things are possible to those who believe. So that's why I'm asking, do we really believe these things? The emotional healing that we need, the spiritual healing that we need, the financial healing that we need, the relationship healing that we need, do we really believe it?
Well, I'm gonna speak for me. Like, I believe, you know what I mean? But it's that flesh that want to let it go.
What is the flesh?
It's just like this flesh, you know, like this mental, this one.
You just said it.
Mental.
Yeah. Because how could your flesh stop you from doing anything? How could this literally stop you from doing anything?
You're right. But spiritual wise, the flesh.
Hmm.
You know,
Right.
it's the war against the spirit, and we have lived most of our lives allowing our mental to control us instead of controlling our mind.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, like I said, especially like I said for me, when you were talking about holding on to this stuff, and I know it's things I've talked about that I so-called the let go, but I find myself revisiting these things every time anger pursue me. Anytime.
Yeah, almost everybody here at the table has got
anytime, you know what I mean? I can get upset with him, I'm gonna revert back to my childhood every time. I don't know how it always coming back to it, but like I let it go, I pray it off. But mentally, it's like I don't want to let that go. I don't know why, because ultimately, like I know it's best for me to let it go, but it's just that stronghold, you know. Like you said, we got to work on that. We got to invest that time. Mm-hmm. It's not gonna be a God take it and it's gonna be gone, because like you said, we really don't believe in what we like in that portion. Mm-hmm. Not saying we don't believe God can do all things, because we know He can, but when it comes to fixing us, we don't want Him to fix us.
Yeah, it's like
no, we need that. It's like fuel to keep us going, but why? Mm-hmm. We don't need it. You know what I mean? So day by day, you got to chip at that. Mm-hmm. It's a mountain. You know, he said we should be able to move mountains. Mm-hmm. He ain't said right now. You know, it might take us some time to chip off that. You know, just chip it off. But invest time, move forward, work on it. Day by day if you have to.
And it's like we make these things, like I said, we put things in a box and we don't deal with it, or we do our best to hide in front of people and thinking that they don't see it, that they can't feel the pain. that they're dealing with. I've been there. I used to really have to deal with depression and all that. Want to die? Like I've been there. And just because I don't say stuff, don't mean I don't see it. And uh, it's easy to get really good at being in a room full of people and being alone, but still being slick enough to where you think that nobody can tell what's going on. And like the baggage that people carry when you come into a room, when people spiritual have spiritual awakenings, they can feel it. Like it's palpable. Like it's so heavy at times. I'm just like, okay. And sometimes I just look and I just don't say anything. But it's heavy. And you're not a kid anymore. You're not ugly. You don't have to deal with it. You don't have to accept circumstances for what they are. Sometimes you got to fight back with that. You got to fight that voice in your head. Sometimes you got to fight that thing because it's going to try to control you, like Ben was talking about. And do we really believe? Because healing is the children's bread, and we are the Most High's children, and He wants us to be healed. But we don't ask for that. We think, because what happens is we start claiming these things. Oh well, this is my sickness, this is my injury, my disability, this is my problem in relationships. I'm always going to be this way. You're claiming that, and then you're getting possessed by that demon behind it. Do we really believe? This is all about faith in action. This is all about when everything that happened to the Messiah is supposed to it's supposed to be what happens to us. He died. He didn't sin, but he died to sins. That way we can have remission of sins. And we're supposed to raise up and become and live be new creatures, right? That's what's supposed to happen. But you know what happens? We've had this baggage so long, instead of staying focused on the Father, we act like Lot's wife. And we be reaching back and pulling that thing to us. But we have to let it go. We got to go higher. We got farther to go. I don't know what all's with you. I don't know. I don't know, but I know there's something you definitely need to let go. June, you definitely need to let stuff go. Whatever it is, you need to confront that thing and fight it. Bam, you know what you got to let go. I'll talk to you, but like, I got stuff I got to let go. But we have to be honest about it. Stop putting it on the back burner, because your life and your own salvation, even you could pass this on to your children. If you don't love yourself enough, children enough.
I was having a conversation with my mom, and I was telling a friend, I think it was my cousin, but just hearing things about her and my pops, even when I was talking to my pops, I did not know, like, mentally, we was on, like, doing the same thing, not saying it was wrong or right, but, it was just things, like you said, you can pass this on for generation to generations,
That's why it's a regeneration.
That's crazy. And I'm like I done had these conversations with them prior to that conversation. I'm like, oh, I do that. But I don't tell them that. But I'm like, they're telling me, little things they went through, little faults they had in their life. I'm like, I do that.
Dana is strong.
Why I do that.
Dana's strong. DNA is strong,
bro. Strong.
Because I'm telling you, subconsciously, we be making covenants with different ruachs. And if you don't get the Most High through the blood of Yahusha to disannul that covenant, then that next generation coming, they just be right there like, okay, I'm just going to keep this line. I'm just going to keep going. But even if you don't feel comfortable confessing to me, but there's things I can tell you're not hiding, and you need to let it go, because there's greater, like, you have more to do, more to give, whatever it is, whoever it is. Stop holding on to something that the Most High don't want you to hold on to, because a lot of times we are the reasons why we're not getting the healing. We've asked for it. We've prayed. We've been prayed on. We've read the book. we've had the faith. And the Most High is like, well, you're by you. Let's say, for instance, like the man that Yahusha healed, that was at the well, and they would just wait for an angel to move the waters, and whoever touched it first would be healed. And then either the Messiah or his disciples will be there. Well, if you have faith, get up. Like, We're not moving forward because we're not letting ourselves. We're the reason why we're not getting healed, is what I'm trying to say. And we are his children and we deserve that. You got to start believing that you deserve that healing, that release. I know we had to go all the way to get here, but it's in your eyes a lot of the times. Even if you don't say anything, you're being quiet, and it follows you. It don't matter where you go or what you do. You have to fight. You got to fight it. You can't just sit there and just accept that as a part of you, because you weren't created like that. A lot of this stuff is learned behavior.
Condition.
Exactly. It's time to let go. It's like we have to stop getting in our own way. I don't want to get too far into that, but we're the only reason why we haven't moved forward. I just leave it like that. But yeah, I'm gonna cut it short. There's more, but I'll cut it short. Junior, you pray us out.
Dear Yah, I'd like to thank you for bringing us together today, waking us up, and giving us another glorious day to live. Yah. Thank you for my sisters and brothers that are here today as we receive your word and your teaching and your knowledge. Yah. Thank you for waking us up and to or opening our eyes to see what it is that we need to see. And as we make our ways and depart, I ask that you keep us safe, watch over us, and help us make the decisions that we need to make in our lives to make the changes that need to be made. In your name I pray. Yahuwah. Shalom.
Sure. That's all I got, man. Yeah, assembly. I'll chill. Yeah.
That was good, Bray.